partition is something which we have grown up with. Whether or not we have, our families have had direct experience of it or not, we are surrounded by those stories.
Without the support of British Council, of course, this evening would not have happened. And I particularly want to thank Geetanjali for her writing this wonderful book that brings us all together here. What is now happening is that we have been able, with the help of the Delhi government and the central government, get a building which is equally beautiful. The first museum is in the town hall, which is a historic colonial building. And the second one, which is coming up, is a hybrid building. It's partly Mughal, partly colonial, but it is going to be the home of the memories of the people in Delhi.
I remember he was giving me ਤਵੀਆਂ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਔਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਸਿਸਟਰ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬਾਜ਼ਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਘੁੰਮ ਕੇ ਵੇਚ ਕੇ ਆਓ।
Now, after creating the award-winning Partition Museum in Amritsar with powerful stories of those who lost everything, the Arts and Cultural Heritage Trust is creating another museum commemorating the impact of the partition in Delhi at the Dara Shikoh Library in Old Delhi.
Dear friends, as I said, it means a lot to be here this evening with Geetanjali Shree. The Tome of Sand, the English translation of Great Samadhi, brings the richness and nuance of contemporary Hindi literature to another wider readership as it discovers borders and boundaries, human beings and nations.
First of all, I want to say it's a very special moment for me to be here. It's Kishwar approached me and I readily agreed. Thank you, Kishwar Desai, for this very special opportunity, and thank you, Partition Museum, and all the best to it. I think we all wanted to do very well.
Where did you get the stories of partition, given that you yourself did not have the traumas of partition present themselves to your immediate family, but you told me that you encountered these stories and the natural culmination of the novel in the third part.
Partition is something which we have grown up with. Whether or not we have, our families have had direct experience of it or not, we are surrounded by those stories. We all know stories of people, we all have friends and whose families have some people here and some people there, and we hear those stories all the time. And the fallout of partition, we feel that all the time. The animosities, the hostilities, the ugliness it's created, the divisions it's just deepened in society. All that is around us all the time. So partition is somehow alive for everybody and all of us. For most of us, from our sort of background, I think it's a dream. We all want to travel to Pakistan, and so did we. And we got the chance and we went to Pakistan. And like I mentioned to you, when we went to Pakistan, one night we stayed in the hotel, which is mentioned in the novel, the Flattish Hotel. There was only one person we knew in Pakistan. That was Intizar Hussain, the writer. And we had met him in Nepal in a conference. Just one person we knew. We met him that evening. He came with somebody else. And after that, there was not a single day or night that we were allowed to stay in the hotel. We were living with families. We were living in homes. And day after day, we were meeting more people. We were just being loved and feted all round.
देखिए, बहुत खूबसूरत मौका मिला, और ये मैंने सुना है कि कोविड के बाद आज पहली बार यहाँ ब्रिटिश काउंसिल में हो रहा है। बहुत अच्छा लगा, इतना अच्छा ऑडियंस के साथ इंटरेक्शन हुआ और इतना अच्छा मौका था। ये पार्टीशन म्यूज़ियम जो किशोर देसाई अब यहाँ दिल्ली में भी लॉन्च कर रही हैं, उसमें जिस तरह के तजुर्बों को और जिस इतिहास को हम लोगों के आगे रखेंगे वो बहुत ही ज़रूरी है, और उसको संजीदगी से करना बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो उनको बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत खुशी है मुझे कि वो भी हो रहा है। और ये खुशी तो है ही कि अपनी किताब और उसके डेजी रॉकवेल ने जो उसका बहुत बेहतरीन अनुवाद किया है उसको आज उसके बारे में बात करने का मौका मिला और थोड़ा उसमें से पढ़ने का मौका मिला.
Hot-headed leftist, the female and the feminist, the everythingist and the opti-pessimist, all in the family or in the Mahabharata, whichever you prefer. The world is in the Mahabharata, the world is in the family, and thus the Mahabharata is in the family. The daily flare-ups, each one a Mahabharata. For this reason, every member of the family knows that what exists in me exists in no one else, and what does not exist in me has no call to exist.
British Council was delighted to welcome and celebrate with Geetanjali Shree her shortlisting for Tomb of Sand this year for the Booker Prize, and the first translation from Hindi into English. It's a momentous moment at the Booker Prize and a fabulous time this evening to celebrate the writer, the story and the translation. And that was done in partnership with the Partition Museum, which will be opening in Delhi later this year.
It was such a wonderful way to end the COVID lockdown period, and this is, I think, my first book launch event after the 2-year hiatus, and it's such good news that the Partition Museum is coming to Delhi, and I can't wait for it to open.